So we figured we're going to do an episode on skateboard graphics. First couple boards were back probably in 2004, 2005. We hired Brandon as our first illustrator, so he did some of the very first boards for Tony Hawk, stuff like that. So we'll show some of those in the stack.
I like to say Brandon's the backbone of Lincoln, just because he kind of back in the day set the vibe, set the tone of, tough aggression.
Yeah, there wouldn't be a lot of half of these skateboard graphics if it wasn't for Brandon and his style.
Totally.
So yeah, it's been great. At the same time, we've started dealing with other companies that kind of wanted a more vector feel. So it kind of ended up, the whole spectrum of design as far as skateboard graphics. So
Totally.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, you've done a bunch of boards. I've done a bunch of boards.
Yeah, once they started wanting some graphic stuff, it's like, okay, let's go. I got this. So
yeah. So back in 2010, 2011, I think is where this file goes back to.
Throwback.
We were super deep in the skateboard industry and skateboard graphics, and we were working with a bunch of different companies. And so I was continuing trying to compile this file of all the boards we've ever done. So we started to build a book out of it, and we were going to call it the Eighth Ply. This was kind of the very first draft of it, just to kind of get a rough idea down on paper. So we printed this out, double check everything.
I like to say we were probably servicing about half of the industry between all the brands. So to make a book out of it, I feel like it would be pretty strong to showcase half of the industry in one book. You know,
each board, each company, like they all have a different story, different style, different creative director behind the brand, and each one was handled like as a totally different project, totally different client. Whether it was Plan B or Zero and Mystery, like two totally different processes and kind of people that we dealt with on it. So
we do logo mayhem. We're talking about we're going to do illustration mayhem. It'd be amazing to flip this book into some skate mayhem, skateboard mayhem, and
that'd be great.
And bring this book to life. It's been like you said, 10 years. We'll probably have to update about half of it. To put all the new shit in there.
Definitely.
But to probably sell 20 of these compared to 200 of the logo mayhem.
That's the thing.
You designers out there. This is where it's all at. If anything, I think we got to start with this board.
Because that goes back to design.
If we're gonna suck in any graphic designers, they're gonna like this. I think if they took graphic design history in their community college, this is like the first thing you learn about.
That's a good one. So Birdhouse Skateboards, we were doing a bunch of work with Tony Hawk and Birdhouse. So this was obviously a reference from Saul Bass.
What's that, Anatomy of a Murder or something or other?
So that movie poster. This came to us from Matt Ball, who was a pro skater for Birdhouse. So he was a big fan of that movie, wanted that board. So, basically there's a ton of parodies done in the skate industry for board graphics.
You just said parody, so I saw this one on the top. Gotta bring this up. Classic, Chris Cole, Plan B, Mighty Short.
Nintendo Duck Hunter. Graphic. That's classic. A good one. So this was a 4-board series. Each guy had a different gun based on their personality. So they kind of got to pick the gun that was on their board, and then Davey, did all these Illustrator, all vector files,
super detailed.
So
one little piece he added in there that wasn't in the brief is this that little piece in the background that looks like a target practice or a target. And with the letters in there, he went above and beyond with that piece.
I think turned out good.
And real quick, back to parodies. Since I just saw this on top, this is probably my
Dustin's favorite
board ever.
Oh,
like Liechtenstein. Oh man.
Here, let me find it. I'll find it up here on screen because
there's like 4 or 5 of these. So before I even started with Dan, however many eons ago.
There's a series of
I worked at a different skate shop, and I ripped this board off. I copied the copy. It was nowhere near as good, but then I got a job with him, and then I realized they did this originally. So I was like, oh, man, this is a perfect fit. Like, I was just copying your guys' stuff. So
that's funny.
Yeah, this is good shit.
There it is.
Look at that.
So there's a 4-board series, as well as we did the illustration on the right for advertising for Plan B. So
I mean, even with the pop, the snap, it's like perfect for skating. So it's like, I don't know. I'm a sucker.
Sucker for type, right?
Yeah.
Two of the first clients we ever dealt with in the skate industry, one was Birdhouse and Tony Hawk. The other one was Real. So this was pretty much Brandon's first board, I'm pretty sure.
So gnarly.
There might have been a Hawk board before this, but this was one of his first boards. and then they on the top they did the full top graphic of it.
That's
so
tight.
yeah.
I mean, so Real is pretty much the most classic brand of all time. Never sold out.
yeah,
Even your
so-
favorite brand sold out at some point. So this is like the epitome of the best skate brand. Even Peter Remendetta board, like
Yeah,
for Brandon to have done that, that is iconic. So
yeah, he was hyped because Brandon skates a little bit here and there, and he was super hyped on doing his board.
yeah, one time at the old office, we were just hanging out in the back. Brandon's walking to his car and he's like, "Give me your board," and I'm like, "All right, cool." He puts it on the ground.
Yeah.
First try kickflip. Gets off, hand me my boards, and just walks off. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, who is this guy?
That's
Like,
great.
I barely knew him, and he's a sleeper.
Yeah.
And he'll also grab the guitar and throw down a riff, and
Get down on the guitar.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah,
he's the guy.
yeah. He's good. So what else we got?
We're just gonna start going through the stack here.
Yeah, we'll start pulling graphics.
This is good. Nothing too crazy. We pulled it out because I think Chris Jocelyn got this tattooed on his bicep, super massive,
Yep, that's rad.
pretty gnarly.
Damaso.
Yep.
Damaso did that board, which that it's gnarly.
Yeah. So
They call him the Wolverine.
Yeah.
So it's basically the Wolverine claws ripping through.
yeah, there's pretty much nothing better when you get a board picked, and then if it ends up on a freaking tattoo of a guy, that's pretty much the top. I would say second is if you get a tech deck. Big tech deck guy
True.
over here.
Yeah.
So
We've tried to collect a lot of the tech decks that we've done for board companies. So we have the big graphic and the small graphic, which is
Yep.
kind of cool.
this one's at the top here. We got Tommy Sandoval,
So
San Diego's finest.
yep, Zero skateboards. So Zero and Mystery were run by Jamie Thomas and Black Box.
Yep.
So Black Box was a distribution company that housed Zero, Mystery. They had a bunch of other
All
shit.
kinds of
Ended up
shit,
being
yeah.
Fallen Footwear was underneath
Yep.
Black Box. So we were super hyped to actually get involved with these guys because Ben Horton, he's an artist. You
Wow.
can kind of jump online, right?
Forgot about him.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, Ben Horton's the shit. So if you jump online, he does a lot of stuff for Aruka right now, but he was kind of the art director behind Zero and Mystery for a while.
Yeah. Didn't he have his own brand, Slave, or something like
He had
that?
Slave, yep.
Yep.
Eventually had Slave,
Yeah.
and and Slave's still around.
Yeah.
If you guys check out Slave skateboards, it's pretty dope.
Yeah. Illustration, layout, type, everything's great. Colors,
Yep.
he's legit.
Yeah, Ben was great.
Yeah.
So they brought us in. Basically, they were too busy to keep up on the board graphics, so they brought us in to, in a way, match Ben's style. So Brandon was able to do that.
Yep.
And at the same time, we did some other graphics that weren't in his style, but
Yeah.
the point was, hey, we need you guys to pick up the workload for Ben
Yep.
and some of the other guys there and kind of jump in and match the Zero Mystery style. So
Yeah, and Brandon's good at, if you need to compliment anyone's style, like Brandon's gonna figure it out and kill it,
yeah, and then so with those like Zero boards, then we were able to do a bunch of mystery boards. So this is the Copper Tone parody.
Yep.
Copper Tone
Sunscreen.
sunscreen. So Brandon graphic as well for mystery. And back in the day, mystery skateboards they were only doing black and white
Yep, I remember that.
boards, which made it sick.
Yeah, even the white dip, I know it's kind of taboo in the skate world, but boy, it looks good from a graphic design standpoint.
Yeah.
Like that looks nice, know. But yeah,
Yeah.
real skaters don't like it,
Right.
but it looks tight.
And then this whole series was each guy had basically a different car.
Yep.
Ryan Smith wanted a motorcycle. So Brandon did, I think there was
Six, seven,
different-
yeah.
Yeah, 6 or 7. I'll pull it up here. Different cars that went with that series. So
Yeah, some of these boards are a little older, so it's actually pretty fun to kind of go through them and check out what's going on. And shoot, this board used to be by the bathroom at the old office,
oh yeah, yep.
and I used to just walk every time I'd walk to the pisser,
Kevin Staub.
like staring at this thing. Look at the type. Like, I'm gonna hit this other camera. Look at this type right here. Like, dude, what? Like out of this?
Yeah.
The scales of the
The
snake.
type.
Dude.
Yeah.
And Staub's a OG, so
Yep.
to have a Staub board is, yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
sick.
good.
Yeah, it was kind of a remake of one of his super old boards from back in the day. So Brandon was hyped to work on that.
Oh,
Oh,
we were
there's-
just talking about
That's
this.
sure.
Look at that.
Yep.
All-time favorite.
There it is. Yeah.
I'm just gonna sneak out with these.
Scheckler and Paul Rodriguez.
Yeah, Shex.
Yep. Those are good. What else we got? So Tony Hawk, Birdhouse. So like I said, some of the first boards we did were for Tony Hawk, which is pretty gnarly, pretty
Oh, yeah.
rad. We were like,
Yeah.
shit, that's freaking amazing. got to work directly with Tony. Brandon did a bunch of his boards, pro models, and then we went on to do some birdhouse work. At one point, we redesigned the birdhouse logo.
Yep.
That lasted for about 2 years, and then they went back to their old.
I think that's the B of the redesign.
Yeah, that is the B on there. So
I want to
that
say this
B-
this board is also in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 or 2, I believe.
Yep.
Which again, you know, tech decks, getting in that's cool, a tattoo's cool, but also to be in a video game, like,
Yeah.
oh, look at the top of that board though. That the type's on there.
Oh shit. Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah, so
redesign.
that was the redesign of the birdhouse logo.
Was it like 2012,
Yeah, it was
13.
probably 2012 because you were yeah.
Yep, I was
you were
there.
and yeah, that was cool. It was something that they ran for a couple years, and then Tony at some point was like, I want to go back to the old school one.
Yep. What else we got? This series is pretty gnarly. Pretty cool idea. So they got some Native Americans dancing around a fire, and I think they're doing like some peyote, and they have a nice, you know,
Right.
it like it goes into some hallucinations and
Yeah.
to an animal face, and
Yep.
each board has the different animal face.
Yeah.
Pretty gnarly. Like later, we're gonna show you a shot. We got the Nigel one signed up there.
Yeah.
That thing, yeah, that thing's crazy.
Yeah.
Nigel actually waited an hour after the demo to sign all the boards. I was pretty impressed.
That's cool. Yep, for sure. Yeah, Damaso did those, and that Photoshop file is pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Like Damaso did the illustration and basically handed that to Dustin, and he did the type lockup and everything at the bottom. So
So
kind of a little collab.
yeah, I used to have these hanging in my house, and all my buds would come over and be like, "Dude, sick boards! You designed that?" And you're like, "Yeah, not the board, but see the little type at the bottom."
Little piece at the bottom.
I did that. Yeah, I did that.
And they're like, "What? That's lame." You're like,
Yeah.
"No, that's sick."
Yeah.
I'm hyped on that. Yeah, and that's there's actually a lot of boards. Even with Brandon, like a lot of times Brandon, he'll even tell you like he's not super comfortable with developing like more of like logo type. I'd say
Yeah,
if
clean.
if it's fully hand drawn type, cool. He's super down and super amazing at it. But when it comes to actually like clean type or like a clean type lockup, he's always like, "Hey, board's done. Can you guys
Yeah.
bang out the type?" And
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that he could do it. I'm sure he just doesn't
Yeah.
want to do it. You
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
Even talking about type, I feel like this is a good example of this
Yeah.
type piece here
Yep.
of something that is in his wheelhouse. You know,
Yeah. Yep.
just gonna smash that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anything else on this board? They got the black ice on here.
No,
you can do
it's-
a board slide
yeah, it's
for
black
like a day.
ice. Yeah, so I don't know if you can tell, but it's a matte print, and then on top is the there's like a gloss finish, which is the black ice from Plan B. So that board slides super easy.
What do we got? This guy.
Oh, so
This one is fun.
yeah, these have a story. So
yeah.
Plan B for every team rider gets basically this gold chain and diamond pendant, and it's like probably this big.
Yeah, inch by inch, not too
Yeah.
big, but it's
Yep.
real diamonds.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
it's-
expensive.
It's legit. So they wanted us to do this series with basically for Felipe, but then they're like, "Hey, if we're gonna do this, let's do all the riders because each rider, the pendant, like the colors and the pendant, kind of are whatever they like. I
Yep.
think Danny's is like all black or whatever.
Yeah, they kind of each rider had a color back in that time period.
Yeah, exactly. So to do this, Colin McKay actually packaged up a couple of these necklaces and the chains and the actual pendant and FedExed them down to us. And I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to have a hold of these, and then this thing ends up getting lost or some shit. So
Yeah, it's a couple grand worth of necklaces. You don't want to lose that.
Yeah, or more. Yeah, I don't even know. So we had to clip them all out. We had to change colors on some of the diamonds, and so each board is a separate photo of the actual necklace. So
Yeah, I
it was
mean,
a
if
little
you
bit different.
if you look at that, I think it was the intern at the time, Bad Brad. He had to clip out every diamond. Like
Yeah.
that's brutal. I
Yep.
feel bad for him.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
dirty.
That was shitty because we had to change. They didn't have Felipe's done yet.
Yep.
So we basically had to take a silver chain and turn it gold and add the diamonds and everything. So
And on that board, I think we just got a knock at the door one day, and there's a courier that shows up delivering the necklace because we were too scared to FedEx it down because we didn't want to lose it. So
yep.
it's pretty interesting, the story behind this board, and probably the cost that they paid to get this board made was
Yeah.
a bit higher than normal.
Totally.
Just because the courier cost.
Yep. Yeah. So there's a whole series of these.
And I think they maybe still run those as a carryover.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yep.
I mean, I think when a new guy comes on, he gets the chain, he
Yep.
gets the the
And the
pendant.
bobblehead.
Yep. Yeah, and the bobblehead. Which actually on Plan B, let's
got-
talk about the bobblehead
got one.
series. because we got there's a couple stories with the bobblehead series
Yeah.
here. So
But these are both basically these two series are like
let me pull these up.
yeah, every rider would get a bobblehead, and you're official when you get the bobblehead, and then when you get the chain. Those are kind of the two. So yeah, these are both bobbleheads. Dan has a more of an original one with PJ Ladd on there. I mean, shoot, that's 2010. It says on the bottom. That's crazy.
Oh, it does.
That's throwback. And then on this one we got 2015, and I think we did one which RIP or not really, but she's off the team now. Leticia.
Oh yeah,
We did one for
that
her.
was a good one.
We did the McClung. We did Sheffy.
Yeah, so there's some of them. That's the original set that we did.
Yep.
So Tom Jones, when I was at DC Shoes, Tom Jones was the creative director at DC. Then I quit in the end of 2004, went on to start a studio, but Tom stayed for like another year or two. When Danny Way and Colin McKay brought Plan B back, they basically hired Tom to come on as the art director and basically run the creative and everything and marketing for Plan B.
Yep.
So I knew Tom from DC. He knew I had a studio. So he reached out, and that's kind of how we got in with Plan B. This was one of the first couple series of boards we did for him. And this was his idea based on, I think it was the Lakers that year. In the NBA or something, they had a similar kind of photo type thing.
Back to parodies. It's just kind of everything's derivative, you know.
Yep.
So that's just how the skating industry is.
Exactly. So Brandon drew all the bobbleheads. Each guy got their own, and they turned out great. And then as people came onto the team, we'd do a new one. There was when Felipe came on, there was a team, basically a team one that they gave him. They gave him the normal Felipe one and then this. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, we got the Jocelyn one, which is a bit newer.
Yeah.
As we started getting like newer, the guys would get a couple boards. Like Chris Cole, I guess he loves the movie Scream, or I don't even know. I'm not a movie guy. Is that the movie?
Yeah. It is Scream. Yep. Yeah.
He got one with the mask on, mask off.
So those boards, we have 4 of them hanging up there on the ceiling. We have one of Cole with the mask off, where he's holding it, and then that one. And then we have Colin's board up there where he signed it. So
Cole is now also no longer on the team.
True. Yeah, he's not. Yep. But we got to go back to this one. So we have this one, and we have the bobblehead of this one. So this was hanging on the wall in the old studio, and we were standing in the hallway one day. I think it was Brandon that noticed, right?
And he's the one who illustrated it.
So Brandon did all these illustrations. We're standing there. This thing's hanging up in the office, and we were talking about something, whatever, and kind of talking about the boards. And Brandon goes, "Oh shit." And we're like, what? He's like, there's 6 fingers. I drew 6 fingers on that, on PJ.
Yeah.
And we're like, what? He's like, yeah, look at it. He's like, there's 6 fingers. And sure as shit. So PJ has 6 fingers.
Yeah. Total mistake.
So, total mistake. Brandon had no idea that he added that 6th finger. And
no one knew.
Yeah, no one knew. No one until this day, I think us, has actually really ever noticed. And Brandon was kind of like, oh shit, whatever. And I'm like, fuck, how does that happen?
Yeah.
And he was like, it's just a common mistake as you're drawing fingers,
Yeah.
especially like this where you have, you have one that's up and then you have, the thumb down. He's like, that's a common mistake in illustration to like add a finger.
I think we brought it up to the team manager at the time, and he was just laughing, and he didn't realize either. No one realized, it's like, that's how good of a mistake it was. It's pretty funny.
It's classic. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool because we got the tech deck of the 6-finger PJ Ladd. So
pretty tight.
Yep. A lot of these boards, a lot of these companies have a story behind it, whether you're dealing with Colin McKay and Danny Way on Plan B, or, you go to Element and you have Johnny Schilleriff who's running Element. I mean, we have some great stories with him. He's been in the studio a couple times. He's a mastermind creative dude. Like
Johnny.
Yep. Johnny's got some shit turning in his head where you're like, dude, you got some ideas and you're fucking brilliant. And like, I mean, I have that one day he came in the studio, he was sketching on these big pieces of paper up on our wall of different ideas for like boards and the company. And he was going to move it up to Portland. And I still have those downstairs because they're dope.
He's good. He's legit. I mean, back when he started, I think it was Underworld Element at the time. Him and Andy Howell started that. And then they, he kind of took control of it and just made it what it is today. And he's like obviously a legend, And he built a skate park. It's probably 20 hours from here, but it's like in Montana or Idaho.
In Idaho.
Built a legit ass huge skate park. So
yeah, he was gonna move like Element or part of Element to Idaho, and I don't know how that all went down, but he's kind of back in SoCal now.
Yeah.
and everything. He started a new company, the Heart Supply Co.
Yeah, which
So,
they're killing it. I
yeah.
think they maybe did a BAM board recently.
Yep. Yeah, that we did for them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Even his new team is legit.
Yeah.
Like he's got some kids that
a bunch of young, heavy
that are
hitters.
really good. I mean, even his son is really good. You
Yep,
know.
for sure. Camp. Yeah.
So back to stories. You know, every board has a story, even if it's not a story with the brand. There's an
Yeah.
internal story. Like this guy. This is one of them.
Yep.
Great piece.
Yep.
Triptych. We have Dan can hold these other ones up.
Yeah.
So this is a great piece. So Nyjah, during the time, was a big party boy. Probably still is. The news came and did an interview in front of his house because he was partying. So we definitely had to do a series on that. But internally, Davey did these boards, and I think it was at the time his first skateboards series.
Yeah.
And he didn't put a bleed on any of the boards just because he didn't know. So the art went straight to the edge. So we had to tell him like, hey, you know, visually these are amazing. They're gonna hit. But sorry, you're gonna have to go put a 1-inch bleed around the whole board on all 3 boards. You know,
Yeah.
and they're due tomorrow. And you know, it's 5 o'clock right now. And
Yep.
he probably wasn't super happy, but he went home Davey style and banged it out. Like
Banged it out
he's-
like a big fatty 1-inch bleed around that whole thing. So
Yep.
he had to continue kind of her arm up and everything.
Yep.
So big deal. And it's, you know, it's cropped so tight that you couldn't just make the art a little bit bigger.
Yep.
Like you had to redraw, basically draw the rest of that graphic.
I mean, there's like the arc of the house that kind of matches the board, so you
Yeah.
can't really, you know, zoom out. But Davey is a machine, so Davey style just
Yep.
went home and busted out, and
Banged it out.
everything was all good the next morning. And
Yeah. You know, a lot of these boards, depending on the graphic, you know, we'll start with pencil sketch and then go from pencil sketch to ink, get the ink, black and white ink approved, and then go from ink to color. So that's how, like, basically this one was done. A lot of Brandon's like stuff like this will be, you know, it'll be a super tight sketch, similar.
it's like a blue line.
Yeah, which I can show you up here on screen. And then from there, that gets approved. He'll go to black and white line art, get that approved, and from that to color. So it's kind of like a 3-step process. You can kind of see up on screen those kind of pencil sketch, very tight pencil sketch, but pencil sketch first, and then you go to black line, and then this is full color. So that's kind of how Brandon works on a lot of these. I think there's a couple others too. And then you have boards, you know, that, like, I mean, you can see on the left there, that's pencil sketch, black, you know, color. So kind of the whole process.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
Yeah. So then, you know, then you have boards that basically like that myself or Dustin work on that are more graphic design style.
Yep.
Whether it's typography or badges or, you know, simple vector illustrations. So this was a series that was basically type-based, everybody's name for Plan B.
Super sick. They used to use this font, whatever it is, Futura, but they called it the Rush series.
Yeah.
And every guy got one. So this one is just like a tweak on it. That's super awesome.
Yep.
This is kind of old now,
Yeah.
4 or 5 years. And just
yeah.
as of
Good
late,
things.
I've been seeing this technique on Instagram a lot. You know,
Yeah,
so it's just kind of
yeah.
cool because it's resurfacing, you know, the
Yep.
style.
For sure.
How'd you do this? Is that the blend tool?
No, well, I can't even remember.
Like,
Yeah,
how'd
it
you-
was. Yeah, no, it was like line, 2 line,
Yeah.
line, this line, blend it, you
Yep.
know. But then you'd have to come back and adjust the bottom of
Yep.
it, and
Command
kinda-
Shift B for all the
yep,
hotkey guys out there.
yep, and then come in and basically add the shadow to it and everything. Some of them turned out good. Some others are a little better than, you know,
I like it.
the
That's
next
money.
one. But yeah, it was cool. I think there's 6 boards in that series. So, but even on, I mean, what are some of the other ones that like you and I? Oh, so here's hold on, here's a good one. Dustin can kind of talk about.
Yeah, so we always get some random ass ideas. Dan can probably attest to sitting in a meeting or on the phone with a manager, and you hear the bong in the background, and you don't even know what you're getting into, and then they send over the concept that they want the gingerbread man, and yeah, they want him smoking, and it's just super random, and that's the kind of stuff that you're like, are you sure you want this? Like, okay, we can do that, but
Right.
yeah, just some random, funny, out there stuff, which in the skateboard industry is probably pretty normal. But
Yeah, they can get away with it, you know.
in any other industry we work in, like you're not going to typically see,
No.
you know, gingerbread man smoking weed, you know, for a paid project, you know.
Exactly. And Blind has some fun with their graphics. Bill Weiss
Oh,
is
Bill Weiss is the
kind
man.
of behind the brand,
Yeah,
and so he comes up with some
he's funny.
gnarly ideas.
I
So
mean,
I'd say probably half the boards we come up with the brief and the idea. The other half, the company
Yep.
creative director, owner, whoever it is, comes to us and goes, "Hey, this is what we want," or
Totally.
"This is what the writer wants."
Yep.
So it all depends on the company. But for Blind, Bill's coming in. He's coming in hot with like some
Funny ideas.
crazy ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, I think he's famous for the Naked 540.
yep.
on
Yeah. He
a
skates naked. So
Like in the
It tells
80s
you
on
something.
a sketchy particle board ramp. Like that's like a splinter waiting to happen. Oh yeah, get the freaking throne. The deuce. Yeah, this is a good one. So this is probably right on topic with all the toilet paper stuff going down. So instead of Zeus, it's Deuce, and he's on the throne. Like this is the kind of stuff that typically at a design agency you're not going to do a lot of this stuff, but this is the fun stuff. Yeah. We got Peter Pot here, another out there idea. Pretty funny.
yeah, good fun stuff coming out of Blind and Bill. We got the Pinocchio. So yeah, those are always fun when that brief comes through. But let's talk about this one, Dustin, because Dustin, had this series.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I would not want to be the one working on this bad boy.
Yeah,
but-
that was a tough one.
So all basically pixel art for ripping off the video games, whether it's what's it called, Super Mario Brothers.
Yep.
You did an Excite Bike one.
So this one was tough because I had to figure out, how do you do this, So you basically make a grid in Illustrator, and you can use the paintbrush tool and fill the grid. So I had to like spend a night learning how to do it, and then had to execute them all. So this was another fun one. I don't know. It probably took a long ass time.
Yeah.
One thing I was battling was 8-bit versus 16-bit. You can see the squares. Some of them are really small. Some of them get big.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had to.
I wasn't a big fan of that, but they obviously wanted some of the guys to be bigger and
Yeah.
in the foreground, so I had to do it. But
I think it works, and you don't look at it and go, "Oh shit, how come some of those squares are bigger than the
Totally.
others?"
it's easy for me. Like when I was in the midst of making it, you're like, I don't know. That's against
all
the
has to be the
rules.
same size.
You can't
Yeah,
do that,
yep,
So
yeah.
now in hindsight, years later, you're like, oh yeah, it's totally fine,
Yep,
But sometimes you can get numb and visually blocked when
Yep.
you're just deep in the project. So
Yeah.
yeah, this was
Because
a
if
fun
it
one.
was the legit pixels, they'd have to all be the same size. And
I mean, for like again, like just to geek out on the skaters, like Cairo Foster, dopest dude ever. So to do a Cairo board,
right,
amazing. You
Yep,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Shoot, I think like a year ago, I was skating at the private Nike skate park in here, and Cairo's there just ripping.
that's right.
And in my mind, I'm like, I did a board for that
board,
guy.
Yeah,
Like,
can you sign it?
yeah, no, I mean, I could never tell him. I don't want to
Yeah,
fan out, but in my
yeah.
mind, I'm like, yeah,
Yep.
like okay.
Yeah, that's rad. So that's where not every board or every company wants like full blown illustrations for
Totally.
their graphics.
Yep.
So especially nowadays. I mean, nowadays things are kind of
Oh, and now the rules
it's
are
all,
totally
it's
changed.
all over the place. So
A lot of photos, a lot of all kinds of weirdness. Real quick, this is just classics.
oh yeah,
It's probably the most classic.
yep. Old Tony
Tony Hawk
board.
board, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I think they made like little skateboard hard drives out of this,
Yep.
tech decks,
yeah. Yeah, they
video
did.
games.
Yeah, that's
I mean, this
right.
is
Yeah, that thing had a ton of
somewhere there's
extra marketing with that.
there's a video of Brandon drawing this exact piece. It's about 20
yeah.
minutes long, and
Yep.
I used to
Yeah.
go to sleep watching this video. So yeah, it's pretty fun doing skateboards. One thing we learned when doing them, we were talking with Johnny, the owner of Element, and he was saying that he uses bread bags as his inspiration just because it's that big tall format. So he would go back, loaf of bread. He would go to the bread aisle back in 97 or something and just take all the bread bags out and look at them all and just get layout ideas of how do you put the cap on the top, on the bottom. So to me, I was like, what the hell, like bread
Yeah,
bags?
I've never heard that until Johnny said that, and
But
it's
it
a
is
great idea.
Yeah, skateboards are the weirdest canvas size because it's like roughly 33 inches wide with the bleed and 9 tall with the bleed, or opposite.
Yep, 9 and 30.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just like the weirdest canvas size. So once he was talking about the the bread bags, it was like, okay, that's actually a really good idea. So
makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
and you could probably go back and look at a lot of early Element boards and see the bread influence of just where the breaks are, where's the logo. So
Yep. And all those, basically graphic design style graphics. Yeah,
exactly,
for sure.
totally.
Here's a good one. So Jamie Thomas, he owned Black Box, like I was saying, which
Legend.
is Zero Mystery. Started Fallen Footwear. This was a rad board because we went into the office. He wanted this board. He's from Alabama. I mean, it even says Alabama on there.
He's got this thing tattooed on his finger.
Yep, that is tattooed, like I think right on his thumb or whatever.
Yep.
So we had a meeting with him, myself and Brandon, and sat down, and he kind of talked about this whole thing. So obviously, Planters Peanuts.
Cease and desist
yeah,
him.
yeah. So he was kind of like, we were like, oh shit, okay, rad idea, but do you think you can do it? And he's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
He's like, we're gonna run them until they basically call us and tell us not to.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, even like graphically or from illustration, like that view of the pool,
Yeah, that's
it's
fun.
so classic. You know what I mean? You can see the shallow end. He's doing the Smith.
Yeah,
That's a good board
Yeah.
with the hand down. Like I don't know.
he's got his little cane and the whole deal.
Yeah,
So
just to see the
there's-
pool.
There's a tee up there of it. They made a bunch of different things of
Yeah,
it.
this is a great board.
Yeah.
Even the shape. Like I'm not a
Yeah,
big shape guy, but this shape.
I rode
is
that board for a
freaking
while.
Nice. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that thing's great. So that was kind of a fun one. There's always, like we said, parodies on board. So like we did one for Plan B Sheckler, which was American Express.
Oh yeah.
And we did a silver, black, and gold card basically.
I think those got cease and desisted
Yeah, I think.
real fast. Like before they maybe even made
Yeah,
it
those
out.
got shut down for sure. So
I mean, this is one I loved. Just a good. I mean, you're probably gonna see this a lot nowadays in the skate industry. A lot of like car reference stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just a good, clean Illustrator file
yeah.
with some. How'd you get those blurs in there? Is
That thing was a
is that a
pain in-
gradient
pain in
mesh
the
on there? What
ass.
is that?
Yeah, it was all done with basically gradient mesh
Oh.
on the fenders and
Yeah.
on the top and on the hood to kind of get it to have that kind of, I guess, vector look to it. But
Even these like little logos, like these are it, right?
yeah, that was
This is
fun. That was a whole sticker sheet that
Yeah.
we did, and I think there was 3 cars. But yeah, that was one that I did. Oh yeah,
It's like another just the car theme is something you're gonna see within obviously the logo parodies. Kind of hard to tell here, but
so there's,
Oh, yeah.
there's the other
look at
boards.
that logo.
Yeah. But that series, the other 2 are up there on the ceiling, but that was a cool one. Damaso did that, and full NASCAR t-shirt basically.
Yeah.
Basically they wanted to print a bunch of NASCAR looking t-shirts and then, do the boards as well, so that was fun.
You got too many to choose from.
Yeah, there's a bunch in there.
That's just
Brockman,
Yep.
yeah.
this dude's gnarly.
Each board was like a different some of them had, each one had to have almost like a plant type
Yep.
element to it as well as some kind of insect or whatever. What's
mean,
on the top? Some of the top graphics were better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spider.
Yeah.
Even just the white on a black dip, like visually looks great. You
Yeah.
know, that's a good looking board.
Yeah. The 0 days were the best.
Oh yeah.
This was a good one. We'll show some sketches for this bad boy because they came to us wanting this this kind of basically fish and lure series. So there was a lure board
Oh yeah.
that somewhere that went with it. It was a big ass lure, totally different shape. So we started out making a boat. One of them was a boat.
Oh yeah.
And then we went from a boat to a fish. And they were basically like, we'll cut any shape you guys design. So
And they were testing them. We would send them
Yeah.
a sketch, and they would cut it out to make sure it wouldn't break.
Yep. Yeah. So it ended up landing on this, which is pretty gnarly, pretty detailed, like a super
Ooh,
gnarly
yeah,
shape.
The top is money.
Yeah.
The tail's crazy. Like you.
Is that cut into the grip tape?
I
No,
think it's
actually-
printed.
It's printed. Yeah. Yeah. It kind of looks like it's cut through the grip tape, but it's actually printed.
Even the
Yeah.
tail. Show them the tail. Like it's a little uneven with the. I mean, you're not
Yeah.
popping anything off that unless you're super
Yeah.
good.
No,
Show
it's-
them the wheels. The wheels is
Yeah, we did
almost
the wheels as
better.
well. So the wheel actually has the fish chasing the lure. So it's like a little frog, I don't know, tadpole lure.
I mean, it's a good wheel.
Yeah.
And it's almost too
Yeah.
good to be that small. Like that is a good piece.
Yeah. Yeah. So this was fun.
Back to tattoos.
Oh yeah, so this is another one. This is one that there's a series of these skulls. So Sheckler actually has this tattoo, I think on his shoulder or whatever. Forearm. Yeah. So this one, there's a P-Rod. Actually, I was talking to Colin the other day because we're doing some new boards for Plan B, but he was saying how that he has this series hanging up in his house.
Yeah.
And he said it's like one of his favorite series ever.
It's a good board. I mean, it has a veneer. Any board that has like the veneer showing,
Yeah.
I mean, it looks strong. You know, it's
Yeah.
a good looking board.
Which that I'll show you on screen here. This kind of came from a P-Rod board, that skull, the
Oh yeah, the Calavera skull.
yeah. So that was basically the idea. Years later, they came back and said, "Hey, we want to do a series with."
Yeah, at one point we were in a meeting with Denman, the manager, and he was saying that this Calavera board was P-Rod's favorite board. So we were like, oh, well, great. Why don't we do round 2?
Yep.
So then he's like, good idea. I didn't think of that. So yeah, we just spun off and made a second version of it.
So that
Ooh,
board.
look at that.
So this was one of the, I don't know, first couple boards we did for Plan B.
Yeah.
P-Rod loved this board. So from this, they wanted a whole series, and it was more of the side profile of the skull. So
Yeah, I love it.
yeah.
Some of these are good, like this Olympic series up here on the left. Like that is a good. I mean, you can easily tell each country
Yep.
by like just looking at it. Those are good.
Yeah, those are fun. These are back in the day when they were super heavy, kind of sports influence,
Yeah.
clean graphic design. Like
They were
Plan
like
B
the
was-
varsity of
Yep.
skating.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's where Dustin and I kind of got a chance to work on a lot of these. So this,
Oh yeah,
I don't even
P-Rod.
know what that quote is at the bottom, but
P-Rod was a huge Bruce Lee fan.
yeah,
Which I mean, who isn't? But
Yeah.
so another one. I think this and the Calavera was like these are my favorite.
yeah.
That did he get this tattooed on him? He might have this tattooed
he
on him.
He might, yeah. So talking about P-Rod, so we have a board. I don't think it's in here, but it's up there, and it's basically it was the year of the rat.
Yep.
Chinese year of the rat. And so he had this idea,
And it was a skate rat too, by the way.
skate rat. Yeah, he had this idea. He
Yeah.
wanted a skate rat.
Yep.
You know?
They showed us the concept and it was amazing. So we started making it. They printed it, and he ended up leaving the team randomly, kind of secretly.
Yep.
So the board never went out into
Started
production.
Primitive.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
started Primitive.
Yep.
But we have a copy of the old board, and it's just like, oh man, if only this was able to go to market real quick,
Yeah.
that would have been fire. But
yeah, it was a cool board.
so I have a transfer here.
Oh yeah, so we're kind of getting down to the end. Let's talk about a little bit about how some of these, boards are made, how they're printed. So heat transfer. So this board.
Yeah, you got the board over there.
Yeah, let me grab the board.
So they will traditionally silkscreen onto these heat transfers. You could silkscreen it, or you could 4-color print it. So they'll print onto these transfers. You can silkscreen on boards, but it is very hard because of the concave. But there are setups for that. People do that, but
Yeah,
it is
I think
also
PAL still does it a little bit.
Yep, and it is also very pricey. It's pretty cool to see. Like, I was pretty shocked when we saw this for the first time. Like,
Yeah, we were actually able to go to Dwindle Distribution, which is the distribution company that has Dark Star Blind and Joy.
almost
Almost,
zero for a while.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so it's a
Tons of-
huge distribution company up in LA and El Segundo. We've worked with Dark Star and Chet and those guys for years and years. So we went up there, and this is the photo up on the screen. That's Chet pressing a board. But we went up there to do a tour of the factory, and he let Dustin and I kind of heat transfer some boards, showed us the whole process, start to finish. Pick a blank, grab your heat transfer, run it through the heater,
Yep.
trim it, throw it through the shrink wrap machine, the whole deal like that.
The whole
That
process,
was sick.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh wait, back to this TJ Rogers thing,
Yep.
real quick.
Oh,
So one
cool,
time,
nicest dude as well.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So
he's super cool.
yeah, TJ Rogers it was a Red Bull triple set skate event, and I worked at a skate shop, so they were like throwing it or sponsor. So I'm there hanging out, drinking, and I see TJ Rogers. So I'm like, oh, dude, like I go up to him, and it's keep in mind it's in the middle of his run. He's it's a three flat three, I believe. So it's a huge set, and people are just hucking themselves, getting broken. And I'm like, dude, we do your boards. Like we're this company. We we do everything. And he's the nicest guy. And he's like, dude, I have a bunch of shoes in my car. What size are you? You size 10? Like, let me just go grab you a pair of shoes real quick. And
But he was on Nike at that time.
he was getting flow. He was getting
from
flow on
Nike.
Nike at the
Yep.
time. This was again back in the day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, you're like literally in the middle of a skate contest. And he's like, yeah, no, my car's just right outside. And I'm like, oh, dude, like no, thank you, but no, And he was
Yeah.
just the nicest guy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Him-
Tommaso told a story the other day. On our meeting on Monday, he was like about TJ. Remember?
Yeah,
that's
we
what were
saw
telling
him
we were
at
gonna do the show. And
saw
he's-
him at Agenda.
Yeah.
And yeah, he
he
just
was fanning out on Damaso. Basically, he found out Damaso did this illustration and a couple other boards for him, and then TJ was kind of like, I want to take a picture with you.
Yeah.
Like, you're the man.
Yeah.
You're the man. Damaso's like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
No, you're the pro skater.
Yeah.
I just drew a little picture for you, buddy.
Yeah, it used to be fun to go to Agenda back in the
Yeah.
day. Like you would see obviously everybody there, and
Yep.
sometimes get to talk to them.
Yeah, it was cool.
Whether
Yeah.
you know you're in the restroom and you see Kevin Romar, and you're like,
Romar.
oh dude, what's up? You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, Kevin Romar is super cool, super nice guy.
yeah,
We've done a bunch of boards for him.
yeah,
and,
he's still got some clips hanging around that are
yeah,
you know
smoothest.
yeah, buttery.
So we did a Ramfro board for him, which he was super pumped on. We've done a bunch of
Yeah,
fun
he's
ones for
he's
him.
good, and he's
Yeah.
I think he's a DJ now for Hobson, who's a pretty famous rapper. So just to see him like kind of transition his career,
Yep. And we did like a DJ board for
yeah,
him where he's
yep.
like spinning and
it's in one of the stacks here.
Yeah.
I saw it, but
Yep.
yeah, he's
legit.
he's a good guy. I mean,
Yeah.
some of these skaters, you know, their career kind of ends and they're just, you know, who knows what they do. So the fact that he's able to parlay it, and
Yeah, do what he loves.
yeah.
and, yeah, it's cool.
it's pretty cool.
Yep. So see this van series? This van series
Ooh.
is ridiculous. So Damaso drew all this in Photoshop. Each guy, you know, obviously specific van for each dude. Like I love these. So yeah, I mean, shit, that's a lot of boards. We could go on all day here,
Shit makes
pulling
me
out
want-
boards and whatnot. But
Kind of want to go skate now.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
exactly.
Definitely got to get this eighth ply book out. Maybe we'll rename it.
Yeah. I think we might do a new name.
Skate
You know, the
Mayhem.
format might be a little bit different, but I think we need to get all this stuff, you know, in a book, documented, you know,
Yeah.
because there's so much good art, so much, you know, like I said, so many stories. So we'll see. Might
Yeah.
just do it just a small run, limited edition type thing.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do like the kids say. If we can get 10,000 likes on this book, we're gonna make it.
right.
Let's get those likes.
Exactly. All right, man. That
Yeah.
was cool. I wish we could have had Brandon and Damaso here to kind of sit down and dig deep into some of these graphics they did, but you know, obviously nobody's traveling at this point.
Yeah.
But
Give us some time, and
Yeah.
we'll sit down with them and pick out a couple boards. And
yep, kind of have them talk about their whole process.
I'm
and-
sure Brandon's got some good
Oh,
stories.
yeah, he's
yeah,
probably got some. Yeah, he might be a little pissed on some of them.
rightfully so.
right. Yeah. So cool. All right, man. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, comment,
that
hit all
whole
the
deal.
buttons, hit the bell. Am I missing anything, Will? Nope. All
That's
right.
it. All right.
Yeah, we'll see you next time, guys.
Cool,
next
yeah.
week.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Yep.
Appreciate it.